Hi everybody, it's Alan here. Just going to show a few records picked up since lockdown. First of all, this is actually some Vclt. I sent a record to Steve at Psych in the Valleys, and he rather kindly decided to give me a record in return. And this is it. I've wanted this record for a long time. This is the one he recorded in London in English vocals, and it's just a lovely record. It is maybe not to everyone's taste. Maybe the nyom 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 that he does is a little bit kind of disconcerting when you first hear it. There's a couple of tracks he does that on. But I've wanted this album for a long time, and as I said to Steve when I messaged him my thanks, I was not ashamed to say that I actually cried when I opened it. I couldn't believe he sent it to me. Something I really wanted, and yeah, I was very touched by it. I wasn't expecting anything as great as this. Now, you probably all know it, so I won't go into detail, but yeah, fantastic. Really, really happy with that. It's a French press. Wonderful stuff. This is a fairly recent reissue of Yeah Griffiths' Sand, his first album, and it's an electronic album, but it's not angular and dissonant and difficult. It's actually a very kind of meditative piece, but not boring, because what he's doing here, he's overdubbing live as he goes, and as a result it kind of mutates and shifts and changes and bubbles along and maintains interest. Lovely, lovely thing. 2 side long pieces, essentially the same piece. That goes for in a car. It's actually on clear. Now, I don't particularly go for coloured vinyl, but I do trust clear vinyl. I've ever had a bad experience with a clear vinyl record, as opposed to maybe yellow or something like that. They tend to be a bit more crackly. This is completely silent and wonderful sounding, and there's also a nice little sheet in here written by the man himself. Highly recommended. Wonderful, wonderful record. You can just sit back, and it's not going to be background music, it's going to keep you engaged. This record, as soon as I heard this, I just knew these are high quality records. This is a very cheap album. I think this cost me £1.50, and I bought it with something else on the next record. I bought it from the same seller on Discogs, which I very rarely buy from. But here's Michael Garrison's Prisms, another electronic album, and look at that guy. You might look at this and think, oh my goodness, who is he? He actually, unfortunately, died in his 40s from alcohol abuse, and of course there's none of that in his eyes and in his face there. That was all to come. So this is a fantastic electronic record. It's every time I just something about it. I think because most of the lines play up, and again he adds in these little melodies, but you might hold them for three or four sequences, and then it goes again, and it's a completely different one and a different one. So it's always shifting, but it's so up. It makes you feel good listening to this record. Now, that's not the thing that anyone wants to hear. They want to hear intense, dark, deep, mysterious. It's going to do something which challenges me. This record is not cheesy in any way, but it just has real melody and it's just captivating. Takes it just takes you to somewhere else. I say it so often now, but it does have something wonderful about it. It's instantly engaging, a highly rewarding listen. I just can't get enough of this record. It's very rare nowadays when I buy a record that I want to play it again and again and again, because there's so many other things to listen to. I've played this more times than any other record I've bought recently. It's just something about it. And I don't really listen to music in the morning. I find it quite difficult to do. I'm not going to go into reasons why, but this I have done so. I've played it any time of day, and it's just a marvellous, marvellous record. Highly recommended, and this is a very cheap album. I bought it at the same time as this. This is Mingo Lewis's Flight Never Ending. Now this is Chris Cole showed this a year or two back, and I sampled it, as I tend to sample most things people show, and I knew instantly it's another one of those. I had to have it. Absolutely fantastic jazz fusion. I mean, this is heavy. This is none of your twiddly-twee technical, brilliance. This is technically very well played, etc. But I mean, I said to Chris, this is intense. This is such an intense record. There's not one light moment. There's nothing sort of duff or kind of a little bit lame on here. This just hits the ground running and sustains it the entire album. Incredible, incredible album this. So powerful. Again, I mean, some people might run through the hills when they hear the words jazz and fusion put together. I'm getting more and more into the jazz fusion. I can hear more and more in it, and I'm beginning to see what it's all about. Even the later stuff, which I used to kind of find a little bit not necessarily something for my ears, but I'm finding myself more open to, and I'm beginning to pick up on the complexities and the melodies and stuff, which maybe my ear was not attuned to initially, preferring the heavier, more intense stuff like this. But there you go, a fantastic little record, highly recommended, and this also is cheap. I fortunately managed to find these from an English seller. I've been trying to get this for a while, but obviously I'm not going to pay $5 and then $25 postage. It just doesn't make sense. But fortunately this seller had both of those albums, and I got them for about £5.50 or something with English post. So it cost me about £9 or £10 for them both. Now that's my kind of maths. Now I'm only going to show one more, as I'm going to do a part 2. This is a reissue of Mice and Rats in the Loft by, I assume, Jean-Duc de Grey or Jan Duc de Grey. Wonderful, wonderful record. There are 3 long tracks, and I'm going to read this. Now, most hype stickers are just hyperbole and trying to kind of catch on. Everything is about psych and everything's exaggerated to the max, just for sales and just to kind of try to, fleece you. But anyway, I'm just going to read a bit of this because this actually says it really well. They're unique in every way, from the diverse instrumentation handled by only 3 musicians, and it's true, the instruments are fantastic, the way they utilise strange chords, key changes and varying tempos, to the very personal style of vocal expression. Few albums reach the inspired heights and creativities of this. And I would say that is, in the main, very, very true. This is a great, great record. Ben Costello has the original. I know that he's going to do at some point a psych video, acid folk video, and he's going to be showing the original. The original is a gatefold of something happened to my camera there. A gatefold with a strange plastic sleeve in the middle where you put the record in that. It had sponge in it originally to protect the record. Really unusual and not very good. Most of them came to pieces. But anyway, this music is really wonderful. I love the singing on this. It is unique. and it's just out there. You know, there's a lot of records I hear, like The Sun Also Rises, a wonderful acid folk, almost a masterpiece, subdued, kind of obscure, obtuse, you know, great record. This also has some amazing stuff on it. If you like bands like, or albums like Holderlin, the Traum album by Holderlin, those sorts of albums, this is going to take you places. Really strong, off-kilter, unusual, freaky music. I mean, there are literally only 3 tracks. Side 1 has 1 and side 2 has 2 others. Great stuff. There's clarinet, Zelda chord, trombone on here, all sorts. But no, there's nothing cheesy about this record. If you've heard Fuchsia, if you've heard that kind of that sort of acid folk, and some of the stuff like Tea and Symphony, but without the kind of the comic quirkiness, this is going to be right up your street. A phenomenal album. I rarely buy reissues unless the originals are way too out of reach, and you might better find a bargain here and there. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to be doing a second part of this fairly shortly. I'll see you later.